Well, good afternoon. If it's Monday, 3 o'clock Eastern, it's Mondays with Michael live here on Facebook. Thank you for joining me today in the room. If you're here live, thank you for joining. If you're watching this post session, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking it out. Hope everyone had a great weekend. This will be the last session we have for 2018. We're going to take the next couple of weeks off for the holiday. Thank you all for participating in our sessions this fall. I'd like to try to get some feedback from you on our session. So if you're watching this either live or through Facebook or through Twitter or through LinkedIn, please leave something in the chat or the message area about topics you would like to see after the first of the year. Most of our sessions are on leadership, management, supervisory skill development. We do some topics in HR and training, thinking about adding some things around sales into January and February sessions. So please let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll continue to do these on Mondays as we get into the new year. Today's session is really the third in a three-part series we're doing on selecting the right person to work in your organization. A lot of our clients here in Northern Virginia and across the country are finding it more difficult to find the right person. And a lot of times when they think they found the right person, after a few months, they get disappointed in that person's performance and unfortunately have to terminate that person's employment because somewhere along the hiring process, there was a slip, I would say, not a mix-up, more of a slip. Now, we just made a wrong decision. We could have had more information about this person, it would have been great. So how do you get more information about a candidate before making a hiring decision? So many of our candidates use assessment tools. The one we use the most is the profile. I keep saying I'm old school Profile XT, PXT Select, that revalidated version of the Profile XT. And over the last couple sessions, we talked about a couple of the areas that the assessment measured. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about thinking style. What are the needs of the job from an individual's perspective, from a verbal and numeric capabilities? And does this person have the ability to do the job? And we talked about how important that was in matching to what the job needed. The second week we talked about the 9 behaviors. As I mentioned in that session, a lot of our clients are looking at the resume and they may do a face-to-face interview. This person seems to fit, quote unquote, in our organization, but then when they really get to work, the behaviors don't really mesh with what the culture of the organization is. So we spent last session talking about behaviors. So check out those 2 sessions. But today's session is all about interest. So the third part of the assessment we use is about interest. What are the interests of the candidate? And do those interests line up with the needs of the job? I would say that in most cases it probably does, but in some cases it may not line up. Candidates may really like to do something, but the job requires something else. So how does that line up? So like always, I'm going to go to my notes. I'm going to review the 6 areas of interest that are measured by the PXT Select assessment. I'm going to review those with you. And as a reminder, you can download this assessment sample report. Go into my screen here, go back the other way. PXT Select assessment, the comprehensive selection report on our website gives you the details, what the assessment measures, and gives you some sample interview questions you can go back and ask the candidate. So let's talk about these 6 interests. So the first interest that we measure is whether the person likes to work in a creative type job. So what are we measuring here? So a creative interest person suggests the environment of imagination, imaginative, and artistic activities. It also involves personal expression, emphasizing on artistic and novel ways of solving problems. So again, if it's a creative type position, does the person like doing this kind of work? And by using the assessment, you should be able to get that feedback from the individual that, I really like this creative type work. So marketing, maybe a little bit in sales, maybe a little bit of design and develop of products for your organization. Does that person like working in that area? The second one is enterprising. An enterprising interest suggests the enjoyment of leadership, presenting ideas, and persuading others. Individuals with this interest may desire responsibility and exercise initiative, ambition, and resourcefulness. So again, outgoing, a bit of aggressiveness, trying to be out there and taking leadership roles. Is this person an entrepreneur inside the organization? So is this person enterprising, or does the job require the person to be enterprising? Does this person like to do that kind of stuff? So again, the assessment will help with that. The next one is finance and administrative. Did this interest suggest the enjoyment of working with numbers, organizing information, and office routines such as record keeping and completing paperwork? So again, depending on the job, if this job requires somebody to work in the numbers area, in accounting and finance, maybe some of the sales on the back end, accounting for the numbers, maybe something that handling cash or money. Does this person enjoy working with numbers? And again, is that part of the job requirement? And do they like to do that? The next is people service. The people service interest suggests that person enjoys the aspects of collaboration, compromise, and helping others. Strong sense of empathy and supporting others and bringing people together. So again, we see this a lot in areas where you may see this traditionally in nursing and in customer service. And again, working with people out in the community. Does this person really enjoy servicing people? And if they do, and that job requires it, then again, you've got a pretty good match there. The next one is mechanical. The mechanical interest suggests the enjoyment of building and repairing things and working with machinery or tools. Individuals with this interest may like tasks that involve using their hands, being outdoors, or breaking a sweat. So again, depending on the job, does this person like to do the mechanical part of the job? And if they do, great. But if they don't, and the job requires that, how comfortable are they going to be doing these types of tasks? And the last one is the technical. The technical interest suggests the enjoyment of learning technical material, interpreting complex information, solving abstract problems. Individuals with interest may enjoy working with numbers, data, and/or computer programs. Obviously, we see a lot of that in Northern Virginia, where we are, because we have a lot of folks that work in IT software development. So again, as long as they're really interested in there, they'll probably be a good fit. So the way the assessment works is it measures the top 2 or 3 interests based on how the candidate answers the assessment. You compare that to the performance model, quote unquote, benchmark in the library to see if the interests align up with the requirements of the job. And if they do, great. If they don't, then it's something you have to think about. This job requires a couple of these, and the candidate has none of those as far as interests. You know, they may line up here, they may line up here, but they may not line up here. So again, when you look at the results of the assessment, you're looking at 3 parts. Can the person do the job? Section 1. Behaviors, Section 2. Can they fit into the culture? Do the behaviors fit into what we're looking for? And then part 3, are their interests aligned with the needs of the job? The way the assessment works and the selection report works is we'll compare those results to the results of the performance model, and where the candidate falls off that model, depending on the numbers, the selection report will go back and give you some legal interview questions you can ask the candidate when they come back in for the next interview. You know, based on results, you know, we're seeing this, we're seeing that. You know, we'll ask those behavior-based, open-ended questions to get some more feedback from the candidate about the areas they may not fit in. So as always, we're going to do a webinar on this particular product. For those of you watching this, we're going to be doing a webinar on January 29th, 2019, 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do about an hour of this online. And again, if that day doesn't fit for you, I do these from time to time for clients individually. I'd be happy to do an hour for you and your team, either via the web or in your office, review deeper dive the assessment. And if you'd like to try one, if you're getting to the end here and you're watching this right now, if you really like to try the assessment, I'd be happy to send you one out, and you can take it for yourself. We won't compare it to anything unless you want me to. I can compare it to your regular job that you're in right now, or type of job you're in right now, and we can see how you fit, have a little fun. If not, you at least go through the assessment process and see what the questions are that we asked or that are asked from the candidate. So we're wrapping up our time here. I do want to thank you for joining me today. And as I mentioned earlier, if you have suggestions for topics in January 2019 that would help you in your business or in HR and training, as I said, I may add a couple sessions on selling in the spring. So keep an eye out for that. I want to thank everyone for watching me this fall. We have a lot of content on our YouTube channel. Go to our website, trainingsolutions.com. You can click into our YouTube channel. All of my sessions are there archived for you to take a look at. They're also archived here on my Facebook page and the Training Solutions Facebook page here on Facebook. So thanks again. Thanks for hanging out with me. This is Mondays with Michael live here on Facebook. Everyone have a great week, and I hope to see you in the new year. Take care.